What did you learn too late in life? That being alone is better than being with the wrong person. Related, red flags should not be ignored, and you can't change a person by loving them. If you let people take advantage of you, they will. Entrepreneurial pursuits will drive this fact home 1000%. Stay away from people who always see themselves as the victim in situations. Wow, I feel like this comment is targeted directly at me. So we should stay away from people like you. Asterisk, get the flamethrower. Your parents aren't right all the time. I feel like if kids realized this earlier in life, maybe they wouldn't hold their parents to unrealistically high standards. Edit. Gosh. This escalated quickly. Quickly. I'm sorry, so many of you guys apparently have tumultuous relationships with your parents. Take the bitter for the better, eh? And if my mother, who raised me, would be capable of admitting she can also be wrong, maybe I wouldn't have a bad relationship with her. I'm in the same situation. She last week sent me a link to an article about how being mad at your parents is unhealthy and basically implied I needed to grow up and forgive her. She's upset that I'm not speaking with her after she told me to leave and go stay with my dad forever, all because I didn't want to take a photo with her. I'm not even mad at her, just too exhausted to continue fighting her on everything or putting up with the way she treats me, like there's something wrong with me just because I disagree with her sometimes. In my case, she always exploited my love to guilt me for being right. I woke up to this when I was around 15 and felt disgusted, so I decided I will never let that happen again and I will stand up for myself. Safe to say she doesn't like that at all. She went from just getting offended to downright threatening me. Of course I'm not scared of that at all, but it's the principle that counts. To make it worse, the threat happened because I was visibly depressed one morning and didn't say good morning first. Eventually, helicopter parents will need to be cut off if you want to live your life. This beep never ends. Not at 20, or 25, or 30. I'm 17 and going into my senior year of high school. As I was looking for colleges, my mom straight up said, "You're not moving out for college. You're going to a college in this state." She also looks down on the career I'm planning on going in. We aren't the richest family and she insists that I get a job that pays very well. I was just thinking that when I turn 18 she'll probably tone it down a bit. Apparently not. Edit. Spelling. There's wisdom to are older since they've gone through the hoops before, but it doesn't necessarily mean they know what's best. Make your decisions, but do keep your mind and options open. Job choices matters in the long run due to availability, lifestyle and livable wage, and moving out matters since it'll be your life for the next 2 to 4 years. Yes, you can move out, but be prepared for the struggle that will come with it. Holy beep, everyone talking about deep personal introspection. I just came here to say at 29 why. Oh. I learned that, while I knew the light bulb inside the oven is not what cooks the food, it never crossed my mind the idea of it being pretty hot after a couple hours of being lit, and that I should not touch it with my bare hand. Finally, a brighter comment. LMAO. Hard work doesn't sell itself. Can you elaborate or provide an example? I'm not exactly sure I understand. Ignore the person who said, do 1/4 the work. The point is more, do a great job, but be sure to advocate for yourself and make sure your hard work doesn't go unnoticed. Truth. That my own happiness is the thing I need to focus on. Doing stuff alone is okay, and actually gratifying. I'm responsible for my own happiness? I can't even be responsible for my own breakfast. Not really too late, but I'm in my early 30s and I realized a few years ago that this is the only body I'll get, so I need to take care of it. I've always been overweight and I've lost 76 pounds in the last year and a half. I've also been taking better care of my teeth and my skin, and I've been much happier since I started taking better care of myself. Only 10 more pounds to go before my BMI is under 25. Edit. Thank you for the gold. That's awesome. What made you shift your mindset to take care of my teeth? It's costly and headache-inducing right now. I have been flossing daily for many years, but it was well into my 20s when I started doing so. Not sure why it took me so long. Now it feels good, and if you take care of your teeth, going to the dentist isn't miserable. Cheers. Nothing better than a 20-minute trip with a bit of polishing and checking around followed with, your teeth look excellent, keep it up and see you in another 6 months. Nothing will change on its own. You have to change it yourself, and no one coming to help you unless you help yourself before. Also, we only grow when we are uncomfortable. Change in progress shouldn't be easy. Whether you're working out, staying late at the office, or working up the courage to go out and meet someone, you'll only grow if you're uncomfortable. Edit. Someone is growing. Having read my comment, honestly, I feel uncomfortable with who I am, and lately I've been making an effort to change a lot of bad habits I have, starting with my filter. I've never had a GF, so maybe changing the way I am can bring some positivity about that aspect. We'll see. It's embarrassing for me, but reading naturally, not forcing myself to do it. I'm 24, and 3 years ago I finished my first chapter book. I was so happy. I have since taught myself how to read complex literature. Yeah, definitely how to read well. Congratulations, and keep it up. Being lonely for any reason, not enough friends, not enough good friends, moving to a new situation and leaving old friends behind can lead you to make some pretty foolish social decisions. Even people who are normally quite confident and good at picking up on social cues will find themselves acting oversensitive, desperate, and/or falling into some pretty ill-advised infatuations. Asterisk. If you're lonely when you're alone, you're in bad company. Asterisk. Jean-Paul Sartre. Asterisk. It's never too late to obtain a skill, especially a useful one. I feel it's too late to have time for a new skill. During quarantine I learned a ton on making games in Unity, and I love it. I'm getting somewhat decent, but now that I'm back at work, what little free time I have, I'm just tired and can't focus on it. I'd take a year off and really make something cool, but I just can't afford it. Nobody becomes an expert overnight. Just keep tinkering and learning. Honestly, the tech landscape changes so much. What was relevant a year ago isn't always now anyway. If your goal is to get a job, then sometimes excitement, demonstrated effort, and willingness to learn is all you need to get your foot in the door. It's not always easy, but some of my best hires had very little experience and went on to be amazing devs. If your goal is to make something cool, I'd bet you're already doing that. Start small and try and appreciate the beauty in what you've made as you make it. You don't need some massive project for something to be great. Just look at old Atari games, for example. I believe in you. It's okay not to have a romantic relationship in high school or even college. I started wigging out about it when I was like 13. I can't believe how much energy and stress I expended on a situation that was totally fine and normal. I was definitely not ready to have a relationship in high school or probably even college. I just wasn't mature enough or in the right place. I completely over-romanticized the whole concept. It solves a lot of problems, but it brings a whole host of new ones. I also didn't realize how much my friends and others were exaggerating, or even outright lying, about how great it was to be with someone, all the beef they were having, and how perfect and happy they were. As it turns out, making people believe you are a happy couple is way easier than being one. My single days were the times when I grew the most and followed my dreams the most effectively. Being in love and partnered is great, but it's a trade-off. It's also okay to be single at any point in your life. There's more pressure as you get older to find someone, and loneliness is definitely powerful and can be crushing at times, but you should definitely be happy with yourself, and it sucks people in society can make you feel like you are doing something wrong just because you are single. This is such a cliche, but learning to be happy single is so worth it. If it takes less than 5 minutes, do it now. I have been procrastinating all kinds of easy-to-do tasks until a year ago when I read that advice here on Reddit. TBH, I'm still procrastinating a bit, but not as much as before. Thank you, random stranger who wrote this. I second this. I had the realization one day that I was spending more time and energy thinking about a task than it actually would have taken to just do the task. There are some things I still procrastinate on, but the cleanliness of my home has greatly improved. That HR is not your friend. That not everyone has good intentions despite putting on a kind face. That real family isn't bound by blood. HR is a joke. It's not a joke, it's just missing words. Treating humans like resources for the company. HR is 100% about protecting the company. OSHA is about protecting insurance companies. Getting things done feels much better than doing nothing. We all need to relax, but being lazy gets you nowhere. Pick up a creative hobby and make something. Exercise, volunteer. Spend a majority of your time being active, and then rest when you need to. The world is much more interesting than your couch. Took me a very long time to realize this. It's easier to stay in shape than to get back in shape. Learning this the hard way at 22 after a few years of not taking care of myself. I've learned that lots of times over 60-something years. I'm about to learn it again. I've been living like a veal calf since COVID came calling. Edit typo. Thank you for giving me a great way to describe my current lifestyle. That it is, in fact, illegal to smoke weed on a train platform. Knowledge has no power on its own. It only becomes powerful when combined with other things. Imagination is more important than knowledge, told Albert Einstein.